Uh, well, yes, because they were already exploring that. You know, they had already done the dogs and um, monkeys, or they were at that point in time. Um, so it's a big step, but not an insurmountable step once you do one thing to progress to the next. You know, the orbiting thing was, I think, no surprise at all. Getting out of the gravitational field and getting to the moon and then, oh my God, coming back. You know,
Yeah.
that was the part that, I mean, I guess I didn't feel any worry about getting there, but I was tremendously worried about them getting back. Hmm. Um, it was certainly a very visible part of the Cold War. Uh, every time somebody sent something up, you know, no matter which side it was, we heard about it here. And there's always that competition between people and peoples. You know, somebody else is doing something and you're doing the same thing. Well, hopefully you're gonna do it faster, quicker, better, hopefully cheaper. You know. So yeah, I think it had a lot of uh, I hate to use the word propaganda, but it was a very positive, encouraging thing for the U.S. that you know, the communists weren't going to take over on us, and weren't going to uh, expand all of their horizons and eventually conquer the United States in the end. Because of course that's what everybody was afraid of, you know, that they were going to come over here and we would all be communists one day. And good capitalists don't like the idea of communism. Uh, so it was a very visible picture of the competition that was going on between the two countries. I didn't expect that question, but yes, sure. Um, it had been a terrible war, and terrible things were done. And one of the things that happens when people beat other people is that they get to take advantage of whatever advances in technology or whatnot that the defeated group have. And so, yes, it was quite fair. Well, again, there was that oh shucks, you know, they beat us to it kind of thing, and it just, even though I wasn't directly involved in any of it, it gave that little spur, that little impetus, you know, that we wanted to see that we would, you know, catch up and surpass. Uh, and I'm sure that that's what happened at NASA too. You know, it's like uh, I can just hear them now. What? They did what? How did that happen? And everybody stayed up all night, you know, and they started working double shifts and all that kind of stuff. That's a guess on my part, of course, but just the idea that uh, we were supposed to be the most advanced technologically country uh, in the world, and so how could they? You know, it was impossible that they actually do that. So yeah, it was just a spur, you know.
Yeah.
Not at the launch. I mean, by then it had gotten it wasn't as exciting as, you know, "Hey, yeah, we can do that." No, it's not like the first time, you know. Uh, and since everything had gone so smoothly, I expected things to go smoothly. So it wasn't until things didn't go smoothly that it became nerve-wracking. You know, you worry tremendously for the people. Oh, again, you know, the TV and the newspapers, radio, that was all they talked about, you know. So you couldn't miss it even if you wanted to. Oh yes, of course. You know, I mean, you love happy endings in any kind of story, but the fact of the matter is that most stories don't have happy endings when they have situations like that. And so it was a nail biter, as they say, all the way up to the end. With the plan, it was a statement of hope, and that we would do that within a decade, I think it was. And I don't know if I could say I agreed with it. I thought it was bold, um, and a great idea, to go out into space. I like that sci-fi stuff and everything, but whether or not it would really happen, I wasn't sure that they could pull it off. Gosh, I should say yes, I suppose, but I can't think of anything. You should have given me a hint beforehand. I could have thought about it. Um, no, it was a great time. When in the beginning, when they first landed, it was on everybody's mind. And of course, over the years, people didn't think about it so much, didn't talk about it so much, became old hat. Going into space, not just to the moon thing, but up to the Mir and the space stations that they have and everything. And we only talked about it when there was a calamity, when there was something terrible that happened, and which is a shame. Uh, and I'm torn about whether it's a good idea to cancel it or not cancel it. Obviously the Russians are continuing with it, and we're going to be paying them boku bucks to take our guys up. So it can be a win-win situation that way. But shutting it down the way it appears that they've shut it down means that we will be exploited by. But we'll see. Another president, anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
And even the same president can change his mind. And you'll notice NASA hasn't, closed up shop. They're still doing stuff. I'm not sure what that stuff is, but they're doing stuff. From me, that's it, unless you've got any more questions.
No, I don't. I think I covered it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.